So a few common percentages that we usually, you could come across, or a few common fractions. So first of all, if something's expressed as 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10 would be how many percentage, Miss Anam? Okay, Miss Aisha, 1 out of 10 percentage. How could 1 out of 10 be 100%? In terms of percentage, 0.1 is not percentage, 0.1 is decimal. Percentage would be you'll have to multiply this with 100, so you would get 10%. Okay. Similarly, if you have 2 out of 10, that would be what percentage? 20%. If we have 3 out of 10, that would be 30%. Uh, okay, so this is how we convert decimals into so fractions into percentage. We have a fraction, we multiply it with 100, we get the answer in terms of percentage. These sort of conversions, they are simple enough. Hopefully you'd learn, and with practice you'd be able to do this just verbally. um okay, for 10 it is quite, so we have to know both how to convert a fraction into percentage and how to convert a decimal amount into percentage. So for example, if I have 2 out of 10, I know this is equal to 20%. Why? Because I told you 2 out of 10 into 100, that would give you 20, so this is 20%. Similarly, if you see 0.2 and you simply multiply it with 100, you would get 20. So if you have any value in decimal form, you multiply it with 100 to get a percentage value. And if you have value in fraction form, you again multiply it with 100 and you get the answer in terms of percentage. Okay, so the question that we have over here with us, there are 200 birds in a flock, 120 of them are female. What percentage of the flock are female and what percentage are male? Quickly solve it and let me know your answers, please. Percentage. Miss Noor? No, 80 wouldn't be percentage. 80 out. Miss Noor, answer for this question number one. We have to give the answer in percentage. There are 200 birds in a flock. Out of those 200, I know 120 are female. 120 birds. So out of total 200 birds, 120 are female. What is the percentage of female birds in the flock and what is the percentage of male birds in the flock? So we'll convert it into a fraction. So I know 120 are female, 120 out of what? 120 out of 200. And then I would simply multiply it with 100. I'll get the answer in percentage. And the answer would be 42.8. Really? I don't think so. It should be 60%. So two zeros, they cancel, two zeros, two ones are two, two six are 12 and 0. So 60 percentage would be the answer. Okay, so 60% of the birds, they are female, and automatically I know that there are just two types of birds that are there, male and female. If 60% are female, then 40% would be male, right? So that is one way of calculating that what would be the percentage of female and male. The other way, just to confirm, if for example you have got more than two types, for males what you'll have to do is you'll have to do 80 80 out of 200. There are total 200 birds. 80 out of them are male. So 80 out of 200 multiplied by 100. This would be the percentage of male birds. Ms. Noor, what's the answer for male birds? Percentage of male birds in the flock. Ms. Noor, are you there? What would be the percentage of male birds in the flock? 60% are female. So male would be how many? No. Total are 200. 120 are female. That's all we are told. So if out of 200, 120 are female, the rest would be male, right? So what's the rest? What's the remaining number? 200 minus 120? 80. And 80 out of 200, that would be 80 out of 200 times 100, that would be the percentage of male birds in the flock. Okay? And I told you the other way to check it is that if 60% are female, total of anything, total of all the percentages for any given scenario, if I'm calculating all the building blocks, that it would be 40%. So for example, let me give you two fractions. One is 1 out of 5 and the other is 4 out of 5. Okay. And if I add them, it will give me 5 out of 5. Agreed? 1 out of 5 is 20%. 4 out of 5 is 80%. And if I add them, 5 out of 5 would be 100%. So these are different ways that you can calculate. So for example, if I tell you that, let's say 4 out of you, there are 5 students in this class, 4 out of you are attending the class right now. What's the percentage who's attending the class and what's the percentage of students who's absent today? Anyone? Miss Anam? What's the percentage of students? So total students in the class are how many? Total students are 5. Total students are 5. Those who are present, they are 4. So now my question is, what is the percentage of students which is present and what is the percentage of students who are absent today? Yes. 90%. How did you get 90%? How many are present? 4. How many are total? 5. So 4 out of 5 are present and 4 out of 5 multiplied by 100, what is the answer? Here it's written on the screen. How many are present? 80%. What's the percentage of students who are absent? 1 is absent, 1 out of 5 is absent, so 1 out of 5 multiplied by 100. Okay, Miss, all right. Miss Noor, you people are how many siblings? How many siblings do you have? Miss Noor? How many siblings do you have? You have 4 siblings. So the total children or the total children that your parents have, that is 5, right? How many of them are boys? 1. So it would be 1 out of 5 is boy, 4 out of 5 are girls. So that would be 5 out of 5. So again, same percentage. 20% are boys, 80% are girls. And if I add the percentage of boys and girls, that would be 100%. Mr. Elias, how many siblings do you have? Wow, great, 100%. Miss Aisha, how many siblings? Two. So you are one, and there are two more. So you are one out of three of the total children that your parents have. And one out of three multiplied by 100, it would be how much? 300%. 900. How could that be? No, one out of three into 100. You are one out of three children, right? So that would be 33%. One out, because you aren't putting brackets or you aren't putting it in the fractions form, so it's doing the multiplication first and then dividing. Miss Anam, how many siblings? Two? Two brothers and you. So if we do the percentage, what's your percentage out of the total number of children in the family? That is 33%. And what's the percentage of boys in the family? Two is not the percentage, two is the number. It would it would be 2 out of 3 into 100. The number of boys would be 2 out of 3 into 100. What is 2 out of 3 into 100? Yes, 66.66 or 66.67%. Okay, so this is how we calculate percentage. We calculate the amount that we are dealing with, we divide it over the total, and then we multiply it with 100. So that is how we get the percentage. Okay, so here we have a few numbers. 7 out of 5, what percentage would be, sorry, 7 out of 8, what would be the percentage of 7 out of 8? Anyone? 87.5%. Excellent. 87.5%. What would be the percentage of 11 out of 15? Miss Noor? Miss Noor? Miss Noor, what's the percentage of 11 out of 15? Hmm. Yes, Elias. Mr. Elias. Percentage of 11 out of 15? 73.33%. By the way, interesting. So see, here is an example of a recurring decimal and a fraction together. So all these three concepts they combine. This is a 0.73 recurring in terms of if I write it as a recurring number. If I convert it into fraction, it would become 11 out of 15. And if I express it as percentage, it would be 73.33%. Mr. Arman, 7 out of 24. What would be the percentage? Arman? All right, Miss Aisha. As if I'm asking a particular student, it doesn't mean the rest of you don't have to do it. You also calculate your answers. What's 7 out of 24 as a percentage? Yes, Miss Anam. 29.166 or 29.17%. Excellent. Last is Sir Arman over there. 1 out of 7. What would be 1 out of 7 as a percentage? The rest of you also please quickly calculate. Miss Noor, what would be 1 out of 7 as percentage? Excellent. 14.28 or 14.29%. 14.29%. Okay, so now we have learned how to convert a fraction into a percentage. We simply multiply the fraction with 100. Here is an interesting thing. I told you that if I have 5 out of 5, it would be 100%. If I have 6 out of 6, it would be 100%. Obviously, we can see it is everything out of total. So obviously it would be 100%. So both of these, if I solve these fractions, I will get 1 as answer. So I also know that if somewhere it's written 1, that 1 would be 100%. All right. What else? What else? What else? Acha, if a fraction instead of, so let's see at the first fraction, it said 7 out of 8. What if I have 8 out of 7? 8 out of 7. So right now I can see that this is an improper fraction, right? So improper fraction, what does it mean? That the total is less and I am taking more out of total. So the total was just 7 and I am taking 8 out of 7. So 8 out of 7 would mean 1 complete and then 1 out of 7. 1 whole, 1 out of 7. Okay. And improper fractions, if I convert them into percentage, how would I do that? I would simply multiply the fraction with 100. So 8 out of 7 into 100. That would be the percentage for this. Miss Anam, 8 out of 7 as a percentage. What would be the answer? 114.28%. 114.28%. So 100% of something is complete, and then if it becomes the improper fraction, then the answer, it will also exceed 100%. The answer would be more than 100%. Similarly, if I do it for 15 out of 11, let's calculate percentage for 15 out of 11. The answer would be, anyone? 15%? No. 15? No, not 115. Excellent. 136.36%. 136.36. Always remember to put percentage sign next to it. Okay. Let's do it for the third one as well. 24 out of 7 as percentage. Yes, please. Anyone? Quickly. Miss Aisha? No, 24 out of 7. Just 7. Mr. Arman, are you there? 24 out of just 7, not 27. 24 out of 7. The answer in percentage form, yes. Yes, we do that. 86. 342.86%. The last digit, always check if it needs to be rounded off or not. All right. Moving to the next question. Question number 3. Convert the following percentages to decimals. All right, Miss Anam, answer for part A. 39%, it's already given. You have to convert it into fraction. Previously, you had fractions and you were converting them into percentages. Now you have percentages and you need to convert it into fraction. Okay, okay, okay. Or percentage to decimal. Not exactly. What do we have? Not in the fraction. Hmm. Yes, madam. Miss Noor. 0.39. Excellent. This would be 0.39. 47%. What would be the answer in decimals, Miss Aisha? Mr. Arman, 83%. What would be the answer in decimal? 83. Excellent. What would be 20% as decimal, Mr. Arman? 20%? 0.20. Excellent. Miss Aisha, 47% as decimal? So 47%, we know any number, it would be 0.47, not 0.04, because see, 47 percent means out of 100. So it would be 47 out of 100. And straight away I can see this 0 lines with 7, this with 4, and over here I put decimal. So it would become 0.47. What would be 2% in decimal form? Excellent, excellent, very good. And Miss Anam, what would be 7 percentage in decimal? 7% in 0.07. Excellent, excellent. Okay, ji, moving forward to the next question. Convert the following decimals to percentages. Okay, Mr. Arman, for part A, 0.31. What would it be as percentage? A, 0.31. Excellent, very good. And what would be 0.05 as percentage? Arman? Excellent, excellent, very good. And this would be 5%. Miss Noor, what would be 0.67 as percentage? Part B and E, 0.67 and 0.2. Yes, please. 67%. Excellent. And what would be 0.2 as percentage? Excellent. Excellent. Very good. Miss Anam, what would be 0.09 as percentage? No, not 90. 0.09 would be 9% and 0.9 would be 90%. Okay. And what about 0.75? 75%. Excellent. Very good. Very good. All right. Quickly moving forward to the next exercise. Okay. Okay, please calculate all of these, and in 2 minutes I'd be asking you for answers of all of these. So in the first, you'll have to shall I tell you how to do any one of these, or are these simple enough you can do? If you have to calculate 25% of 80, can anybody tell me how I do that? So if you have to calculate any percentage of any number, so 25% of 80 would mean 25% multiplied by 80. 25% I know I can write it in decimal form as 0.25. So it would be 0.25 into 80. You can write in your calculator percentage sign as well, but if you know how to quickly convert between percentages and fractions, you'd be able to do these questions a lot quicker. So now you know how to do it. So 25% of 80 would be 20. 0.25 into 80, which would be 20. Also, I know 25% of something is 1 out of 4. So 1 out of 4 into 80, again, I get 20. Understood? Alright, please solve it for all of the parts and soon I'd be asking you all for the answers of these. 25% is 1 over 4. Convert 1 over 4 into percentage on your calculator. 1 over 4 into 100, what do you get? Okay, here are a few percentages. I'm writing them down. You can remember them, memorize them. 1 out of 4 is 20%. 2 out of 4, 1 out of 4 is 25%. Sorry. 1 out of 4 is 25%. 2 out of 4 is 50%. 3 out of 4 is 75%. And 4 out of 4 would be 100%. Okay, similarly, if I do 1 out of 2, I know this is 50%, and 1 out of 1, sorry, 2 out of 2, that would be 100%. Acha, more if I give you a few more, for example, 1 out of 3, this would be 33.33%. 2 out of 3, it would be 66.67%. 3 out of 3 would obviously be 100%. So we have done 4. Okay, if we do for 5 as well, 5 and then 10. 1 out of 5 is 20%. 2 out of 5 is 40%. 3 out of 5 is 60%. 4 out of 5 is 80%. And 5 out of 5 is obviously 100%. Okay, and lastly, if I do it for 10, 10 is simple. 1 out of 10 is 10%. 2 out of 10 is 20%. 3 out of 10, 30%. 4 out of 10, 40%. 5 out of 10, 50%. 6 out of 10, 60%.
Sir, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So now 5 over 10 is 50.
Hmm.
Now 5 over 100 is 5%, and over 1,000
Hmm. Correct. Correct. 70%. 8 out of 10 would be 80%, and 9 out of 10 would be 90%. 10 out of 10 would be 100%. So these are percentages. Obviously, you'd get used to converting these percentages into fractions and fractions into decimals as you practice more and more. So obviously, in this one, in this question, there are two ways to solve it in your calculator. Either you write three ways, in fact. First of all, the first way is that you write in your calculator. I'm doing part B. You write 80 and then there is the percentage sign. How do you get percentage sign? Shift open bracket, that give you percentages, that gives you percentage, multiply by 125. That is the first way you input this in your calculator. The other way you can input this in your calculator is 80 out of 100 into 125. The third way you input it in your calculator, it is 0.8 into 125. So whichever is easier to do, whichever is the quickest way to do in your exams, you'd be relying on that one. all three you can check, they would give you the same answer because it's the same thing expressed in decimal, fraction, and percentage form. If I'm going too fast, if I gave you explanation very fast and you want me to repeat something, please go ahead and ask. I'll repeat that thing. Okay. Please solve all of these, and how about you write your answers in the chat box, please, for all of them as soon as you have them. Yes, you can type them in the meeting chat over here. Down here in the meeting, you have this chat message sign. You can send your answers in here.
Thought it was
All right, G. So the answers that we have, the first one would be 20. Then the second one would be 100. The third one would be 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. The fourth one, 36. The fifth one, 4.5. And the last one, 0.16. 20, no, 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 25% of 30. 7.5, right? Yes, madam? Sure. 7.5. 7.5. So, Anji, hopefully you all got the same answers. Now, let's move to the type of questions that you are expected to have. Okay, I'm sending you a question, similar question for homework. Allahu Akbar, Control V. Am I sending it in the group? Yes. These are the ones that you have to calculate. Okay. Acha, as for the class right now, how much time do we have? We have 15 minutes. Let's do two of them in the class and two would be homework. Let's do these two in the class. By the way, again, none of you sent me your homework from the last class, and obviously that was your chance to get your answers checked and corrected, but looks like you people are confident that you already know it, so no need to get your answers checked. Right. Acha ji, these two questions, please go ahead and solve them, and as soon as you have your answers, please send them in the chat box, and let's see if you're able to do these. 55%, 55% in fraction would mean, sorry, in decimal form it would mean 0.55. So again, three ways to do it is either you write 55% multiplied by 120, or you write 0.55 multiplied by 120, or you write 100 into 1. Which would be wrong? Interesting point. How do you get children's count in decimal form?
the answers. First question.
If you're finished doing that, please move on to 7. I'll discuss answers together when everybody has solved them. All right, for the next one, we have 220 students, 65% were Australian, so 0.65 into 220. 20% Pakistani, 0.2 into 220, which would be 44. 5% were Greek, so 0.05, which would be 11. And then 10% other nationalities, 0.1 into 220, which would be 22. 143. 143. Acha ji, everybody getting the same answer, Miss Anam? Have you completed question 7? You got the same answers? Sure, if we have time, let's do a few more questions right now. Since these are quite easy. Okay, ji. Control V. Please go ahead and solve this one too. 6 have black hair, 3 would have blonde, 6 plus 3, 9. 21 would have brown hair. All right, easy question. Let's see if the next one is a bit more challenging or not. Yes, 69 newspaper, correct. 36 pens, correct. 18 books. 27 other items. Excellent. Mr. Elias, you got answer for all of these?
No,
Eh,
sir, I'm doing it now.
Okay. Sharanji, the lesson for today would be till this question. I've sent one question for homework. We have test on Monday for all that we have learned till today. And all of you who have finished solving these questions, you may leave. And if any of you have questions, you may stay back and ask your questions. The rest of you may leave.